Hi everyone, my name is Leah Klugman. I'm here at Bondi Clay and I'm going to give you a tutorial on hand-built ceramics. So I'm going to teach you something that it's simple. Everybody can have at home a plate. This one is a plastic plate that you can buy at the supermarket. What I like about this plate is that you don't need to cover with any plastic because the clay won't stick into that, and have a very nice print at the back which gives you a nice backing for your plate. So the first thing you need is to get something to cut your clay, which this calls a cutting wire, but you can be using maybe a dental floss or any type of string that you have in your house that can cut the clay. You need a rolling pin to roll your clay. So you want to try to roll the most even possible. The way that I do normally is with two pieces of stick that have the same thickness. If you don't have access to that, maybe two rulers or tiles or something that will give you the thickness that you like. So I'm after this thickness, which is a nice thin thickness for a plate. Not too thick, not too thin, in fact. And maybe you want to get some plants from outside. Maybe you want to get some leaves or flowers. Go around your garden, have a look what you got. It gives you some fresh air. And the other thing that you need is a sponge would be good, or we use a metal kidney or a rubber kidney, which are specific tools for ceramics, but you could be using a credit card, in fact. For this plate, I measure more or less how much do I need. I don't need a lot. So you look at the shape that you have and you roll your clay into a round shape. So that's how I want to open this. Clay likes to be squashed a bit, becomes easier to work with. And I'll start rolling it. Get to the shape and the thickness closer to the plate. So we're just almost there. I'm checking that the sides get into in line and the clay stop growing. Then you know that you've done enough. So I'm pretty happy with the thickness. So I'll take it out. I check the other side. So then when you can use your credit card and make it everything nice and smooth with no ridges. Then you are going to just make sure that you got enough to go into your plate. I'm just going to make a marking so I know where do I have to cut afterwards, but I don't necessarily need to cut right now. So I'm just marking where I should center my pattern and using probably the side where you have more grooves into whatever shape you got or texture. Then you choose your pattern. So you decide what you want, and if you're happy with, then you roll once more, maybe without your measurement because that is going to dent a little bit more. And you just roll into your clay, maybe twice, just to make sure that you got enough coverage. And then gently you just take it out and see what you got. And see that you're happy with your pattern. Or if you don't like, you can always clean with your credit card and do it again. So I'm just going to use this and now transport into the plate. Trying to center the middle. and just gently with your fingers trying to push it in without making too much marking with your fingers. So I use a little sponge, I wet a little bit, squeeze the excess water and just press it in so you don't have your finger markings. Okay, so I've got inside the plate, and now I'm going to cut. So there's two ways of cutting. One is just going outside where the plate edges and going around, so it's easy to go around to make a perfect shape. So that's one way of doing. The other way of doing is actually to cut on the inside as well, and you can have a bit smaller. So if you don't want this edge, which this one have the edge, but if you don't want this edge, make a little bit more, I think it's a bit more modern, is to actually cut over here. And you also can have a good rim, because you just go sideways with your knife and you slice against your rim. So look, you also can have a perfect line. And I also find that dries better if you take this ridge out, dries more even, and this becomes more even as well. So the other thing you can do is, again, clean the sponge, squeeze the excess of the water, and take this edge that's quite rough. I want to soften, so I want to round a bit. So that's a good time, because the clay is still soft, so it's a good time to clean. And basically that's it. That's all you need to do. And then you wait to dry, and then you can take out of the shape. So probably it's going to dry, depending on the weather, probably about 24 hours. So the next day you can just gently remove from the plate.